Hello everyone, it's day 3 of testing here on the 2.0 public beta test, and now it's time to take a look at multi-role fighters. For this task I have chosen one of my old favorites, the converted training aircraft, the Yakovlev Yak-7. This is not a premium aircraft, so I've gone ahead and used a bunch of the free XP that we've been given over here and a little bit of gold to train a pilot for, and fully upgraded this sucker. She's carrying 6 rockets under her wings, she's mounting a 37mm cannon, and a pair of machine guns above the nose. And I put a little bit of a paint job on her too, because I plan on spending several matches in this aircraft, and the drab olive Soviet green is not something I want to stare at all the time. So, let's go ahead and throw this little green machine into battle and see what happens. Seems that our choices for maps are limited to Archipelago.
You are approaching the area of combat operations.
And
Be
El
ready.
Haluf.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
Alright, let's cap this first airfield over here. Try not to be the first to dive. Hits pretty hard. Do svidania. Not faster than my bullets.
survivors detected. Destroy them.
Rockets for you, I know how to deal with a fabulous flying tank. Fortunately, my rocket fire button appears to have not been mapped. Old-fashioned it is.
Колбасит соло, колбасер по пояс голый.
I guess my rockets do.
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
Колбасер по пояс голый. Колбасит соло, колбасит соло, колбасит соло, колбасер по пояс голый. Колбасит соло, колбасит соло, колбасит соло, колбасер по пояс голый. Бочка, бочка, колбасер, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, 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 голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, голый, голый, колбасер, бочка, колбасер, бочка.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
А мне мама говорила, колбасеры это сила.
I finally got rid of that 209.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Returning to base. Do you copy?
Well, that was a well-timed death. Come back to you, fire. So, you get the death in right up to the last second of the squall line showing up, you can still rejoin. Good to know.
The enemy is about to win. Push harder.
That's interesting. Graphic areas up there with the streamers, or contrails. exciting uphill battle here.
Enemy bombers inbound. Don't let them reach their target. Enemy is almost defeated. Take a final push. Shape up. This is our last chance. You've done what you could. Go back to base.
Yeah, so what happened there is the enemy team seized control of the strategic points that would actually affect the outcome of the battle, whereas my team only had a choice between two airfields on our side of the map. So we could get forward respawn locations, but they were basically ineffective because the other side of the map, a rocket base had both a rocket base and a bomber command communications center. So my side of the map was getting pounded the whole battle by V-2 rockets and high-flying bomber formations. That's a pretty tough thing to overcome, especially when the other team is given both of those advantages as a gimme at the beginning, whereas your team just gets aircraft repair facilities. So that's why that happened right there, in my opinion. Other things in my opinion for multi-role fighters here. I felt no real difference there between how the Yak-7 flew and how the XF-4F3 flew that I demonstrated yesterday. That's a real problem. If all the planes basically fly the same and the first phase of the battle has unlimited respawns, the players are just forced to mash their faces against the same thing over and over again and, just depend upon superior numbers in order to win out. There's not very much strategy involved if all the planes of a certain type or even varying types fly the same. I mean, this is a multi-role fighter that should not be as agile and nimble as a light fighter. Now, granted, the F-4F is an American. It's built like a tank, so I can see why it might not handle as well as other light fighters and might be as stodgy as a multi-role, but I've also tried out the Zero and the British planes off camera, and their feel of flight is very much the same. So in addition to lacking a real sense of speed when I'm in the cockpit in these things, it's starting to feel like they fly very, very similar to each other if they're a light fighter or a multi-role fighter. And that's a real concern to me, because knowing the strengths and weaknesses of your aircraft and the enemy's aircraft is very important to winning an aerial battle. And if those distinctions are suddenly wiped out in 2.0, that's a real problem. It represents a dumbing down of the game that I find unacceptable. That being said, the Yak-7 performed very well. The 37mm cannon I put on her hit like a truck, as I expected to, especially at close range. It was very accurate. I caught a couple of long-range hits with her, but not as much as if I was within 300 meters of the target. Her rockets, mostly ineffective, but that's because I'm needing to figure out the lead on them again, because the velocity of things are different now. And yeah, that's about it. I will revisit my concerns on how things turn after I get into a heavy fighter. And of course, a submission will be made on that as well. This is Magus, signing off for now. Good hunting.